The Eternal Dance of Light and Shadow, The Saga of Aurora's Embrace by Carissa Richardson. In a realm where the veil between magic and reality was as thin as morning mist, there lay a valley of indescribable beauty named Aurora's Embrace. The valley, cradled by the celestial mountains, was home to the ethereal lake, a body of water so clear and still it was as if the sky had descended to kiss the earth, leaving a mirror to gaze upon its own vast beauty. The ethereal lake was the heart of Aurora's embrace and the source of its magic. At night, the auroras danced above the ballad of lights that twisted and turned in vibrant hues of green, blue, and purple. The waters below reflected this celestial dance, creating a spectacle of light so entrancing that even the stars above grew envious. In this enchanted valley roamed creatures of legend and lore. The most revered among them were the unicorns, symbols of purity and grace. The unicorns of Aurora's embrace were unlike any other. Their manes shimmered with the very essence of the auroras, and their horns radiant a light that held the warmth of love and the power of creation. One unicorn in particular stood out from the rest. Her name was Luminara, and her coat was as white as the snow on the mountain peaks, with the mane that flowed like the rivers of light above. Luminara was the guardian of the ethereal lake, a title bestowed upon the most noble and wise of her kind. For generations, the unicorns had upheld the balance of magic within the valley, for it was their purpose and their gift. But as is often the way of such tales, darkness coveted the light. Beyond the mountains, in the caverns of Obsidian's Hollow, dwelled the shadow wraiths, ephemeral beings that fed on the light, seeking to extinguish it and spread their darkness across the land. The wraiths had never breached the valley, for the auroras were a barrier they could not pass until one fateful night. A cosmic event unseen for millennium occurred, a lunar eclipse that cast the valley in a shadow. With the auroras dim, the wraiths seized their chance, slipping like smoke through the cracks and creeps of the celestial mountains. As the shadow wraiths entered the valley, the flora and fauna fell into a hush. The vibrant colors began to fade, and the lake's reflection dimmed. Luminara sensed the encroaching darkness and knew that the fate of Aurora's embrace lay upon her shoulders. With a determination that burned bright within her heart, Luminara approached the ethereal lake. She dipped her horn into the waters, and a ripple of pure light emanated from the point of contact. The water began to glow, its light pushing back against the shadows. The unicorns, seeing their guardian's bravery, joined her, each adding their light to the lake. The battle between light and shadow raged on, echoing clash that resonated throughout the valley. Luminara's horn glowed brighter and brighter until a beam of light shot forth, piercing the heavens. The auroras responded, their colors flaring back to life with renewed vigor, casting the rafts away and sealing the valley once more. Aurora's embrace was saved, and peace was restored. The unicorns continued to roam the lush forests and mystical shores, guardians of a magic that would forever dance between the water and the sky. And at the center of it all was Luminara, the unicorn whose light had held the power to remind the world that even in the face of encroaching darkness, hope and beauty would always prevail. In the aftermath of the great battle where light trumpets over shadow, Aurora's embrace entered an era of unmatched splendor. The valley once again basked in the glow of the auroras, flourished as never before. Flowers bloomed with vibrant hues that mirrored the celestial tapestry above, and trees bore fruit that sparkled with drops of liquid starlight. The magic of the ethereal lake spread throughout the land, giving rise to new life and wonder. Luminara, the valiant unicorn, became a legend whispered on the winds of the sung by the rivers. Her bravery had not only repelled the darkness, but had also awakened ancient powers slumbering within the valley's depths. Beneath the lake's surface, the spirits of the water, long silent, stirred once more, their songs of old blending with the harmony of the auroras. As seasons turned, the unicorns sensed a deepening of their magic. Foals born under the aurora lights began to display powers unseen for ages. They could summon the winds with a whining, call the rain with a stomp, and coax plants to grow with a nuzzle. The unicorns became the stewards of life, nurturing the valley's bounty with their newfound gifts. However, peace is often a prelude to trials yet unseen. The shadow rafts banished beyond the celestial mountains brooded in their defeat. They watched and waited, their eyes never straying from the luminous veil that protected Aurora's embrace. And so the rafts hatched a plan, not of force but of guile, the whispered promises of power and dreams of light to the creatures that lurked in the darkness, amazing allies united by envy and desire. Meanwhile, within the valley, a new prophecy was unearthed in the ancient ruins, etched upon the mountain's hidden face. It spoke of the time when the light would need to be shielded by the very shadows it had once vanquished. Luminara had valiantly pondered this riddle, for she knew that the truest strength often lies in embracing one's opposites. Thus, as the Wrath's new legend assembled, so did the inhabitants of Aurora's embrace prepare. Luminara united the creatures of the valley, from the smallest field mouse to the most majestic griffin. She formed an alliance of beasts, spirits, and whispering trees. Each being, no matter how insignificant they seemed, was crucial to the balance of the valley. The day came when the Wrath's force crept towards the valley under the cloak of the new moon, but as they neared they found not a land undefeated, but a realm braced for their coming. The battle that ensued was unlike any before. It was not fought with claw and fang, but with heart and soul. The valley itself rose to defend its keepers, and the Wraths faced not only the unicorns, but the very spirit of Aurora's embrace. As dawn broke, a marvel unfolded. The raft's essence began to unravel in the light, not into darkness, but into streams of color that joined the aurora above. The prophecy had come to pass. The shadows, once enemies of the valley, had become part of its beauty, their darkness adding depth to the light. In the years that followed, the auroras never dimmed, for they were no longer just a barrier against darkness, but a bridge to it. Luminara, now an elder, watched over her realm, with her coat still radiant, her eyes still filled with the wisdom of the ages. She had learned that true harmony lies in the union of differences, and under her guidance, Aurora's embrace became a beacon of hope, a testament to the belief that in the union of light and the shadow, there lies an unbreakable peace. And so the valley thrived, a testament to the balance of all things, where every creature has a role, every shadow a place, and every light a purpose. The story of Luminara and her kin, and their courage of wisdom, is carried of the cosmic winds, echoing the eternal dance of auroras, a tale of unity, of conflict and concord, for all who would listen. For all who would listen to the tale of Aurora's embrace was a melody of unity, symphony of existence itself. But there was one who did not merely listen. There was one who watched. This being was known across the cosmos as the Watcher, the silent celestial of the stars, the entity of immeasurable age. The Watcher observed the unfolding of events across the universe, its gaze piercing through the veils of realities and times. The Watcher had seen the rise and fall of countless realms, the birth and death of worlds, the endless dance of creation and entropy, yet in all of its eons and villages, the Watcher found itself drawn to the story of Aurora's embrace, a rare jewel of balance in the vastness of the cosmos. In the wake of the great unity between light and shadow, the Watcher perceived a profound truth within the valley that resonated throughout the ages. It was a truth about the interdependence of forces, about the strength found in vulnerability, and in the power of light magnified by the presence of darkness. It was a truth that the Watcher knew must be preserved, must be witnessed, so that the cosmos might remember and learn. And so the Watcher decided to make itself known to Luminara, the elder unicorn who had been the architect of harmony within the valley. In a moment of stillness, under the canvas of shifting auroras, the Watcher's presence folded into the realm of Aurora's embrace, like a star softly descending to the earth. Luminara, sensing an arrival of ancient powers, stood by the ethereal lake, her heart open to the wisdom of the stars. The Watcher, appearing not as being but as a gentle shimmer in the air, a ripple across the lake's still waters, spoke without words. It conveyed images of distant galaxies, of its intricate web of life and destiny that connected all existence. The Watcher shared visions of the future where Aurora's embrace would have been a beacon of hope not just for its inhabitants but for its beings across the stars. It showed Luminara how the unity achieved in the valley would inspire civilizations beyond the stars, how the balance between light and shadow would become a cornerstone for peace in turbulent galaxies. But with this knowledge came a warning: the cosmos is ever-changing, and balance is not a destination but a journey. The Watcher impressed upon Luminara that the valley must remain vigilant, for challenges would arise, not just from the shadows but from its light itself, for in their brilliance beings of light could become blind to the value of darkness, and in seeking to spread their radiance risk casting new shadows. Luminara, her spirit alight with new-found understanding, bowed her head in gratitude. The Watcher, having imparted its wisdom, receded into it the fabric of reality, its vigilance of silence guardian over the valley once more. With the Watcher's revelations, Luminara knew that the tale of Aurora's embrace was not to remain within the confines of the valley. She gathered the unicorns and all the creatures of the land, and together they sent their story into the cosmos, a message carried on the cosmic winds to all corners of the universe. And so the legend of Aurora's embrace became a cosmic echo, a tale of harmony that transferred the void, touching hearts and minds, whispering the ancient truth that in the embrace of light and shadow, in the balance of all things, lies the very essence of peace and of existence for all who would listen and for all who would watch. After the revelation of the Watcher, Luminara felt the weight of the cosmos on her shoulders, but also a profound connection to the universe beyond the celestial mountains. The Watcher had gone, yet its words echoed in her heart, a constant reminder of the balance that must be maintained. As the unicorns of Aurora's embrace harnessed their deepened powers and the valley thrived under their care, their story of the unity with the shadow wraths became a legend. But legends, much like the auroras, are ever shifting, and in the cosmos, nothing remains static. In the periphery of the universe, a ripple disturbed the fabric of the stars. It began as a whisper, a murmur of something ancient awakening. The Watcher, ever vigilant, turned its gaze on the edges of the darkness where the ripple originated. Something was coming, something that had lain dormant since the universe's inception, something that neither light nor shadow had ever encountered. Back in the valley, a sudden chill swept through the land. The auroras flickered erratically, and the ethereal lake's waters stirred. Luminara sensed the disturbance and gathered the unicorns. They stood in a circle around the lake, horns pointed into the stars, ready to defend their home from whatever was to come. It was then that the sky split open, a tear in the very fabric of that night. Through this tear stepped a being made of the void between stars, its eyes holding the depth of black holes. This being was neither of light nor shadow. It was the void, the ancient emptiness before the cosmos was born. The being spoke not with words, but with thoughts that resonated in the minds of all creatures. "I am null," it declared. "The unwritten, the balance of the void, the unity you have achieved has echoed across the universe and stirred me from my slumber." Fear gripped the hearts of the valley's inhabitants, for they knew not if Null came as friend or foe, but Luminara, with the wisdom of the Watcher's words still fresh in her spirit, stepped forward. "Null, we stand united, not just as protectors of this valley, but as children of the cosmos. We seek balance, as do you," she said, her voice steady, her presence a beacon of light against the oppressive void. Null regarded Luminara, and in its gaze she felt the coldness of the abyss, but also curiosity, an ancient intelligence that sought to understand this balance of light and shadow. "You have achieved what many could not. Harmony is duality, but the universe is vast, and many realms know not of balance. They tip towards light or shadow, and in doing so they spiral towards chaos." Null intoned, its voice a whisper of the cosmos. Luminara, emboldened by her connection to the Watcher and her duty to the valley, made a blunt proposal. Let us be ambassadors, then. Let the story of Aurora's embrace serve as a beacon to these realms. Let us bring the message of balance to the cosmos. Null remained silent, its contemplation stretching out like the vast void it embodied. Then slowly it nodded. So be it. Be it knowness, guardians of balance, the path is sown with stars and shadows. You will face trials, wonders, and terrors beyond your ken. Are you prepared for such a journey? With a determined heart and the unity of her kin, Luminara answered for them all, Yes, we are ready. And so the beings of Aurora's embrace embarked on the quest that would take them beyond their valley, beyond the mountains, and into the vast staring expanse. They would encounter worlds bathed in eternal daylight, realms shrouded in perpetual night, and civilizations on the brink of annihilation. But with each step they would carry the light of Aurora's embrace, the wisdom of the Watcher, and the balance of Null. For in their union lay the hope of the cosmos, a harmony resonating through the void, waiting to be written in the annals of the stars. The valley's legend had become interstellar, a journey not just as defense, but of the discovery of unity, of forging new legends for all who would listen, for all who would watch, and now for all who would journey through the uncharted sympathy of cosmos. As the guardians of Aurora's embrace ventured into the cosmos, spreading their message of balance, they encountered many who embraced their teachings. But harmony breeds discord and light casts shadows. A nemesis emerged from the depths of space, a being that thrived on the chaos that imbalance wrought. It was known as Discordia, the harbinger of turmoil. Discordia was a creature of shifting forms, its body a mouthless storm of clashing energies, a sentient storm that sought to unravel the threads of order. Wherever Discordia passed, stars flickered out and worlds were set adrift in the emptiness their inhabitants lost to the madness of strife. The Watcher, upon witnessing the rise of Discordia, sent a silent warning across the stars to Luminara and her companies. They felt the urgency in the celestial tides and knew that the journey had taken a perilous turn. The unity they had fought for within the valley was now threatened on the cosmic scale. As they traveled from one realm to the next, the signs of Discordia's passage were unmistakable. They found planets torn by war, societies fractured, and the very fabric of reality thinning. Luminara and the unicorns used their magic to heal what they could, but the paths of Discordia was a wound too deep for their light alone to mend. It was on the fractured world of Symphony, a planet once known for its inhabitants' ability to live in perfect rhythm with one another and their moon, that Luminara came face to face with Discordia. The harbinger stood in the center of the great plaza, its form a swirling vortex of conflict, absorbing the discordant energies of the battles around it. Luminara approached, her heart calm, her resolve like steel. Discordia, your path leads only to destruction. Why do you tear apart what the cosmos has woven together? Discordia's many voices laughed, a canopy that echoed through the skies. Balance is a lie, a chain that binds potential. Only in chaos does true freedom and strength emerge. I will unmake the order that stifles us, and from the chaos a new cosmos will rise, free from the tyranny and harmony. Luminara knew then that Discordia would not be swayed by words. It sought to test strength in their balance, to challenge the very essence of their mission. With her fellow unicorns, Luminara prepared for the confrontation that would determine the fate of countless worlds. The battle that ensued was not merely a clash of might, but a contest of ideas. Luminara and the unicorns challenged the combined powers of light and shadow, the teachings of the Watcher and the balance of Null, weaving a magic that was the antithesis of Discordia's chaos. As they fought, the people of Symphony, inspired by the courage of guardians, began to reclaim their rhythm, their unity. Their collective will bolstered the unicorns, and together they cast a spell with such harmony that even Destoria could not resist its pull. Destoria roared against the binding spell, its form compressing, its energies waning. "You cannot hold me forever, guardians," it bewailed. "Chaos cannot be chained." "We do not seek to change you, Destoria," Lumiria replied, her voice a calm amidst the storm. "We seek to show you that even you have a place within the balance. You are the challenge that strengthens us, the dissonance that makes the song of the cosmos more profound." Bound by the magic of balance, Destoria's form stabilized, becoming a dark star in the firmament of testament to this necessarily a challenge of the strength of the cosmic order. The guardians of the Aurora's embrace continued to their odyssey, knowing that Destoria, now a part of the cosmic balance, would test them again, but they also knew that each test would unite them, strengthen them, and affirm the message they carried, a message of harmony that would resonate through the stars, for all who would listen, for all who would watch, and for all who would stand against the tempest of chaos. The journey of Lumiria and the guardians of Aurora's embrace took them across the canvas of the cosmos, their legends growing with each star they visited. The balance that championed brought hope to many, but the shadow of Destoria lingered, a constant reminder that harmony and chaos were forever intertwined. It was during their travels that Lumiria received a vision from the Watcher, a glimpse of the distant world shrouded in a darkness so profound it seemed to swallow the light around it. At the heart of this darkness was a castle, and within its cold stone walls a young princess named Jasmine was imprisoned. Jasmine was no ordinary royal. She was born of the cosmos, her essence interwoven with the primordial magic that held the key to power, capable of tipping the scales between order and chaos. Lumiria learned from the vision that Jasmine's captor was none other than her own twin sister, a revelation that shook her to the core. Lumiria's sister, named Umbra, had been separated from her at birth by the forces of fate, raised in the shadows by Destoria itself. Umbra had grown powerful under Destoria's tutelage, embodying the chaos that sought to unmake the harmony of Lumiria had fought so hard to protect. She captured Jasmine, knowing that the princess' unique connection to the cosmos could be the exploded to unleash an era of discord across the universe. Determined to rescue Jasmine and confront her long-lost sister, Lumiria led her companions to the shadowed world. As they approached, the stars seemed to dim, and the void itself appeared to thicken. The castle stood as a monolith to despair of the barren landscape, its towers piercing the sky like dark spirals. The guardians breached the castle's defenses, facing challenges that tested their resolve and strength. Each room was a labyrinth of illusions and traps conjured by the Umbra to deter their advance, but Lumiria's light guided them, her unwavering spirit of beacon in the enveloping darkness. Finally, in the highest tower, Lumiria came face to face with Umbra. The reunion was bittersweet, the sisters mirror images of each other, one bathed in light, the other shrouded in shadow. Umbra's heart had been hardened by years of manipulation, her soul intertwined with the essence of chaos. She believed that releasing the cosmic power within Jasmine would free the universe from the chains of order, allowing true freedom to reign. Lumiria pleaded with her sister, speaking of the beauty and balance, of the strength found in unity between light and shadow. She shared tales of Aurora's embrace, of the harmony that flourished there, and of the cosmic dance that enriched the lives of all beings. Their confrontation culminated in a clash of wills, a battle not just of magic but of ideals. And they fought. Lumiria's compassion began to reach Umbra, her words stirring memories long suppressed, awakening the bond that they shared as twins. In the heat of the battle, Jasmine's own power awakened, her essence resonating with the conflict around her. She called out to both sisters, her voice of harmony that intertwined their magics, amplifying their strengths and diminishing their weaknesses. The castle shook as the cosmic energy was released, not as a weapon of destruction, but as a wave of resonation, healing the scars of the land and soothing the tortured souls within it. Umbra, overwhelmed by the surge of unity, ceased her assault, her eyes opening to the truth Luminara spoke of. The sisters' embrace, their reunion sealing the rift between them, their combined powers a testament to the balance they could achieve together. Jasmine, now free, joined the guardians of Aurora's embrace, her unique connection to the cosmos a valuable asset in their ongoing mission. As a Destoria, the entity watched from the void, its plans thwarted but not destroyed. It knew the dance of the chaos and order was eternal, and though it had been tested again, it also knew that new challenges would arise, new tests of the balance Luminara and her kin strove to uphold. Their journey continued, a never-ending quest to spread the message of harmony, to protect the balance of the cosmos, and to face whatever trials lay ahead, together as guardians of light, shadow, and everything in between. In the aftermath of Jasmine's liberation and the reunion of Luminara and Umbra, the guardians of Aurora's embrace sought to fortify the bonds of unity across the cosmos. Yet peace was a delicate tapestry, easily frayed by the claws of discord. A new threat loomed on the horizon, a catalysm that sought to unravel the fabric of existence itself, plunging worlds into turmoil and despair. This looming destruction served as a grim reminder that the balance between order and chaos was perpetually at risk. As the Guardians prepared to conflict their new challenge, Umbra found herself reflecting on her past, the journey that had led her from the light into the depths of the shadow. The sisters born under the aurora-lit sky of Aurora's embrace were the embodiment of the valley's magic, two halves of a whole. However, fate, with the unfathomable desires, decreed their separation. A set of shadow wraths, remnants of the darkness that had once coveted the light of the valley, orchestrated their division. In the dead of night, they abducted Umbra, leaving Luminara behind. The wraths believed that by raising one of the sisters in the ways of the shadow, they could tip the balance in their favor, creating an agent of chaos, powerful enough to extinguish the light of Aurora's embrace. Umbra was taken to the caverns of Obsidian's Hollow, where Destoria, sensing her potential, took her under her wing. The entirety of the chaos nurtured Umbra's inherent magic, twisting it with the essence of shadow. Yet despite the darkness that enveloped her upbringing, a spark of light remained within Umbra, a remnant of her origin, resonant in the shadow's complete embrace. As destruction threatened the cosmos, Umbra shared her story with her sister and the Guardians, revealing the depths of her struggle between light and shadow. Luminara listened with a heavy heart, understanding at last the forces that had shaped her sister's destiny. United by their renewed bond, Luminara and Umbra, along with the Guardians, faced the ongoing storm destruction. They journeyed to the source of the catalysm, a rift in the fabric of the universe, where the raw energies of the creation of oblivion clashed in the endless fury. The Guardians realized that to close the rift and restore balance, they needed to harness both the powers of light and shadow, embodying the very essence of Aurora's embrace. Luminara and Umbra stood together at the rift's edge, their magic intertwining, a dance of day and night. They called upon the auroras above and the depths of the void below, channeling a spell of unprecedented power. As they wove their magic, the rift began to mend, the destructive forces subsiding, the balance slowly restored. However, the effort exacted a great toll on both sisters. They realized that their combined powers was not merely to confront the darkness or champion the light, but to unify these forces, bridging the divide that long separated them. In the aftermath, Cosmos breathed a sigh of relief. The Guardians had prevented the unraveling of existence, but the victory was bittersweet. Luminara and Umbra understood that their roles as keepers of balance were eternal, a responsibility that would challenge them in ways they had yet to imagine. The story of their separation and reunion, of the battle against destruction, and of the eternal dance between light and shadow spread throughout the cosmos. It served as a beacon of hope and a warning of the vigilance required to maintain balance. Lumiria and Umbra, now united, continued their journey with the Guardians, their story a testament to the power of reconciliation and unity. As they ventured forth, they knew that the cosmos was a tapestry of indefined complexity, woven from the threads of the light, shadow, and everything in between. Their missions to preserve the harmony of existence was far from over, but together they faced the future, unafraid, for in their unity lay the strength of overcome any adversity to the cosmos might conjure. In the wake of the cataclysm that threatened the universe, Jasmine, riding on the back of Lumiria, joined the battle against the forces of discord. The unity among them, a symbol of hope and defiance against the encroaching chaos, was a beacon in the darkness. However, Distordia, ever cunning and relentless, devised a plot that would unravel the fabric of their unity. Discordia, imprisoned in a realm of shadows, whispered across the void to Jasmine. It spun tales of false prophecies, claiming that only through its release could the final victory be secured. Jasmine, her heart pure and intentions noble, sought to end that conflict once and for all. Guided by Distoria's deception whispers, she unknowingly activated an ancient artifact, the celestial key, which had the power to unlock any prison and binding. As the key turned in the air, a surge of dark energy erupted, tearing open the prison of shadows. Distoria emerged, its form more terrifying and powerful than before, a maelstrom of chaos incarnated. The Guardians, taken aback by the sudden betrayal of fate, railed to confront the unleashed terror. The battle that ensued was monumental, a clash of cosmic forces that shook the pillars of the universe. Lumiria and Umbra, with Jasmine at their side, fought valiantly, their magic illuminating the darkness with hope, but Distoria was relentless, its power magnified by its freedom, tearing through their defenses with ease. In a desperate move to contain Distoria, Lumiria tapped into ancient forbidden magics, drawing upon the dark energy that coursed through the universe's hidden veins. The magic was potent but corrupting, and as Lumiria wielded it against Distoria, it consumed her, turning her heart towards darkness. With a final devastating blow, Lumiria struck Distoria down, but the victory was Pyrrhic. The universe, torn by the battle and the unleashed dark magic, began to collapse upon itself. Worlds disintegrated, stars blinked out of existence, and the very fabric of reality frayed at the edges. In the chaos, Lumiria turned on her sister, the darkness within her seeing only enemies. As she raised her hand to strike Jasmine down, the Watcher intervened. With a power that transcended time, the Watcher pulled Jasmine into his realm, a place outside the collapsing universe, one of the few sanctuaries that remained. The Watcher, having witnessed the tragedy unfold, knew that the cycle of destruction was tied to Jasmine's inadvertent actions. He sent her back in time, hoping to prevent Distoria's release, but her history has a way of repeating itself, and despite Jasmine's efforts, Distoria always found a way out, each time with Jasmine unknowingly help leading the universe and time and again. The first journey back through time was a beacon of hope in the endless void, a chance to right the wrongs that had led to the universe unraveling. Jasmine, with her heart burdened by the knowledge of what her actions had wrought, found herself standing once more in the lush valleys of Aurora's embrace. Days before Distoria's catastrophic release, the world around her was oblivious to the shadow of destruction that loomed over their existence, and Jasmine carried the weight of the foresight in her solitude quest to alter fate. Guided by the Watcher's silent whispers and armed with the knowledge of events yet to unfold, Jasmine sought to strengthen the barriers that kept Distoria contained. She ventured into the ancient ruins that housed the celestial key, the artifact whose mimesis had led to Discordia's freedom. Her plan was simple, yet fraught with risk: to secure the key in a location beyond reach, guarded by spells woven from the very essence of the cosmos. As Jasmine delved deeper into the ruins, she encountered echoes of the past, remnants of power left by the Watcher and her ancestors. She harnessed these echoes, weaving a complex tapestry of protective magic around the key. With every incantation, she felt the weight of the cosmos' fate pressing down upon her, a constant reminder of what was at stake. But even as Jasmine worked to thwart the impending disaster, Discordia's influence swept through the cracks of time, its essence intertwined with the fabric of reality in ways that defied understanding. Unseen forces conspired against Jasmine, twisting fate to ensure the cycle of destruction remained unbroken. In her solitude, Jasmine failed to see the web of deception Discordia had woven around her. The very act of hiding the celestial key became the harbinger of her discovery. A series of seemingly inconsensual events led a band of unwitting explorers directly to the key's new resting place, believing themselves to be the first to uncover an ancient artifact to untold power. They unwittingly became the instruments of the universe's doom. As the key turned once more, unleashing Discordias from its shadowy prison, Jasmine watched in horror as the world around her spiraled into chaos. The auroras above Aurora's embrace flickered and died, a silent testament to the failure of her endeavors despite her best efforts. The cycle of destruction repeated itself, each moment of hope extinguished by the inevitable march of fate. In the aftermath of Discordia's release, the Watcher approached Jasmine once more, his presence a somber reminder of the immutable laws that governed their reality. With a heavy heart, Jasmine accepted the Watcher's offer to try again, to return to another point in time in the hope of finding a new path to salvation. This first journey back through time taught Jasmine a crucial lesson, that the forces of chaos and order were entangled in a dance far more complex than she had ever imagined. It was not enough to simply prevent Discordia's release. The very threads of destiny had been rewoven, a task that required not just power but understanding, unity, and unwavering commitment to the balance of all things. And so, armed with the painful knowledge of her first failure, Jasmine set forth once again, each step of testament to her own resolve to break the cycle of destruction, to find a way to preserve the harmony of the cosmos against ever-present shadow of chaos. On her second journey through time, the Watcher sent Jasmine to a prevalent moment much earlier in the history of Aurora's embrace, a time before the deep divisions between light and shadow had become entrenched. This era was marked by a fragile peace, a time when the seeds of discord could be uprooted before they took hold. Jasmine found herself amidst the ancient councils of the valley, where the wisdom of the unicorns guided the land and the shadows were kept at bay by mutual respect rather than fear. With the knowledge of what the future held, Jasmine sought to strengthen the bonds between the creatures of light and the dwellers of the shadow. She became a mediator, a voice of unity, using her unique persuasions of heal old wounds and prevent new ones from forming. Her words were like ripples in the still waters of the ethereal lake, spreading out to touch all corners of Aurora's embrace. Jasmine advocated for a grand council, a gathering of all beings to forge a lasting pact of harmony between light and shadow. The idea was met with caution, optimism, and preparation for the council began. Jasmine poured her heart into the endeavor, believing that this could be the key of averting the cycle of destruction. But the deeper Jasmine delved into the politics of the valley, the more she realized that the complexity of the animosities that simmered beneath the surface. Old grudges and fears long buried began to resurface, fueled by the machinations of unseen forces loyal to Discordia. The unity of chaos, though not yet free, had its tendrils intertwined in the hearts of those susceptible to the whispers, souring seeds of doubt, of suspicion. As the day of the Grand Council arrived, Jasmine's hopes were high. The gathering began with declaration of peace and unity, but as the discussions progressed, the atmosphere grew tense. Discordia's unseen influence turned words of consolation into barbed accusations. Misunderstandings were amplified and tempers flared, transforming the council into a battleground of ideologies. In the chaos of the council, a tragic misunderstanding led to an act of aggression that shattered any hope of peace. A creation of the shadow, gooned by Destoria's whispers, lashed out in fear, causing a calamity that calmed the lives of several beings of light. The instant ignited the very conflict Jasmine had sought to prevent, citing Aurora's embrace on path of division and darkness much sooner than it had been in her original timeline. The Watcher, observing from the shadows, saw the heartbreak and despair that consumed Jasmine as she witnessed the consequences of her actions. Despite her intentions, her interference had hastened the discord and aimed to heal. The cycle of destruction was not only unbroken but accelerated. In the aftermath of the failed council, the Watcher approached Jasmine once more. With a heavy heart, he offered her another chance, another point in time to return to, in the hope of that different approach might yield a new outcome. Jasmine, buried with the pain of her failures, driven by the slim hope of success, accepted the Watcher's offer, determined to find a way to break the cycle that seemed so inexorably tied to her existence. This second failure taught Jasmine an even more profound lesson about the delicate fabric of destiny. It was not enough to address the sympathies of discord. She needed to understand and confront the very roots of chaos that lay hidden within the hearts of the beings, waiting for the opportunity to unravel the tapestry of the cosmos. With this new understanding, Jasmine prepared to embark on her next journey through time, each step forward a testament of her own wavering resolve to find the balance that could save her world. For Jasmine's next attempt to alter the course of destiny, the Watcher chose a moment of profound significance in the history of the cosmos, the inception of Destoria herself. This was a time before the entity had fully formed, when it was merely a nascent force emerging from the cosmic void, fueled by the natural imbalances and conflicts that arose as the universe expanded and evolved. The Watcher believed that if Jasmine could intervene at this crucial juncture, she might prevent Destoria from gaining the strength it needed to sow endless chaos. Armed with the wisdom of her previous failures and the deepening understanding of the delicate interplay between light and the shadow, Jasmine was sent back to this primordial era. Here she found herself in a realm of swirling energies, where the fabric of reality was still malleable and the forces of creation and destruction danced in their infancy. Jasmine's plan was bold. She sought to commune with the embodied form of the Destoria, to reason with it, to offer it a place within the cosmic balance that did not hinge on perpetual conflict. She hoped to show Destoria that its existence was not a mistake, that it too had a role to play in the grand design, one that could be fulfilled without the need for endless destruction. As she approached the heart of the nascent chaos, Jasmine felt the overwhelming power of Destoria's potential. It was raw and untamed, a wild wind of possibilities, both terrifying and awe-inspiring. She reached out with her essence, her words weaving through the chaos, a plea for understanding and peace. For a moment there was a stillness, a sense that the universe itself was holding its breath. Jasmine felt a connection, a flicker of understanding from the heart of Destoria, but the moment was fleeting. A nascent entity, still in the throes of its own tumultuous birth, was too imbued with the fundamental forces of chaos. It could no more deny its nature than a star could refuse to shine. The attempt to reason with Destoria backfired. The entity, feeling threatened by Jasmine's intervention, accelerated its own colossals, dwelling in their surrounding conflicts and imbalances with even greater fervor. Instead of diminishing its eventual threat, Jasmine individually hastily Destoria's emergence as a fully formed entity of chaos, more powerful and more entrenched in the cosmic fabric than ever before. Jasmine watched in horror as her efforts once again led to the opposite of her intentions. She had sought to quell the storm before it could wreak havoc across the cosmos, but instead she had felt the storm, making it stronger and more destructive. The Watcher, observing the unfolding events, realized the profound difficulty of altering the very nature of its entity like Destoria. It was a force born from the universe's inherent imbalances, perhaps necessary to the cycle of existence as the balance Jasmine sought to protect. With a heavy heart, the Watcher retrieved Jasmine from the maelstrom of Destoria's birth. They stood together in the void, two beings bound by their shared commitment to the universe that seemed determined to follow its own inexorable path towards light and shadow, creation and destruction. The Watcher, ever patient and wise, knew that while this attempt had failed, the journey was far from over. There were still paths to explore, lessons to learn, and choices to be made. The cycle of creation and destruction was not a curse to be broken, but a challenge to be understood and, if possible, guided towards a more harmonious expression. As Jasmine prepared for her next journey, she carried with her not just the burden of her failures, but also the hope that with each attempt she was coming closer to understanding the true nature of the balance she sought to restore. The cosmos was a vast, intricate tapestry of forces, and perhaps in its endless weaving, there was a place of harmony that embraced the full spectrum of existence, from the brightest light to the deepest shadow. On Jasmine's 23rd journey through time, the Watcher chose a moment that seemed ripe for potential for altering the course of history. The first meeting between Luminara and Umbra as adults, before their paths had irrevocably diverged. This was the time of innocence and possibility, before the seeds of discord sworn by Discordia had fully taken root. The Watcher hoped that by intervening in this pivotal encounter, Jasmine could foster a stronger bond between the sisters, one that could withstand the manipulations of Discordia and prevent the division that led to so much strife. Carrying the weight of the previous failures, Jasmine felt the pressure of her monumental task. Each journey back in time took a toll on her spirit, each return to the present with unchanged outcomes, a reminder of the elusive nature of balance that sought to achieve. Yet with the Watcher's guidance, she ventured back with a resolve forged from the lessons of her past attempts. Arriving in a lush valley of Aurora's embrace, Jasmine found Luminara and Umbra on the cusp of their fateful divergence. She observed their interactions, the love and tensions that coexisted between them, embodiment of the broader cosmic dance between light and shadow. Jasmine intervened subtly, orchestrating events that brought the sisters closer, highlighting their shared joys and dreams and gently guiding their conversations towards understanding and acceptance of each other's differences. For a time it seemed as though Jasmine's efforts were bearing fruit. Luminara and Umbra shared moments of general connection and understanding, their sisterly bond appearing stronger than ever. Jasmine dared to hope that this time her interventions might finally alter the path leading to the cosmos unraveling. However, as the days passed, the underlying tensions between the sisters began to surface one more. Despite Jasmine's best efforts, the influence of Discordia through indirect provided insurmountable. Discordia's assistance, woven into the fabric of the cosmos, fueled the sisters' fears and doubts, magnifying their differences until they loomed larger than their love. The pivotal moment came during a confrontation between Luminara and Umbra, where Jasmine's influence had inadvertently highlighted the stakes. Instead of resolution, their disagreements escalated, fueled by misunderstandings and the unseen hand of Discordia guiding their emotions. The sisters parted ways with words of anger and betrayal, their bond fractured in ways that seemed beyond repair. Jasmine, witnessing the collapse of her carefully laid plans, felt the weight of her failure more accurately than ever before. The pressure of her repeated journeys, the burden of the knowledge of what was to come, and the realization that even her best intentions could not sway the course of fate, left her feeling powerless and adrift. The Watcher, sensing Jasmine's despair, reminded her that the nature of balance is not to prevent conflict, but to navigate it through wisdom and compassion. The lessons learned from each attempt, though seemingly fruitless, were invaluable. They were refining Jasmine's understanding of the complex interplay of forces that shape the cosmos, teaching her that true balance requires acceptance of the inherent unpredictable and chaos of existence. As Jasmine prepared for yet another journey, this time with a heavier heart but with a deeper wisdom, she understood that the path of harmony was not through altering specific events, but in nurturing the seeds of understanding. re-silenced the unity that could withstand the storms of discord. The 23rd failure was not an end, but a step on a much longer journey towards a harmony that embraced the full spectrum of light and shadow, a journey that she and the Watcher would continue to navigate together for as many times as it took. On Jasmine's 1,000,000-second journey through time, the stakes had never felt higher. The Watcher, carrying the burden of the countless failed attempts, chose a moment that was a nexus of potential outcomes, a point where Jasmine's interventions could theoretically steer the cosmos away from its path of destruction. This time, Jasmine was sent back to the critical juncture in the history of the Celestial Concord, a period when the seeds of unity among the cosmos were being sown, but also when the undercurrents of the discordious influence were at their most insidious. As Jasmine arrived, she found herself in the midst of the Concord's founding ceremony, a moment that symbolized hope and collaboration among countless civilizations. Armed with the knowledge of her past failures and the resolve to make this attempt count, Jasmine decided to take a more direct approach. She sought to expose and neutralize the agents of discordia infiltrated among the delegates, believing that removing their elements could prevent the subtle corruption that would eventually lead to the Concord's downfall. However, Jasmine's actions, though well-intentioned, had unforeseen consequences. In her zeal to root out discordia's influence, she sowed distrust among the delegates. Accusations flew, alliances crumbled, and the very fabric of the unity that the Concord was meant to represent began to tear at the seams. Jasmine's attempts to explain, to heal the rifts she had inadvertently caused, only deepened the divisions. The ceremony, which was to be a beacon of hope, turned into a battleground of suspicion and conflict. The unraveling was rapid and catastrophic. Without the foundation of trust and cooperation, the Concord disintegrated, leaving a power vacuum that Discordia exploded with glee. The cosmos was plunged into a state of war and chaos far sooner and more intensely than any timeline before. Worlds turned against each other. Civilizations that had once reached for the stars now clawed at each other's throats, all under the shadow of Discordia's manipulation, magnified by Jasmine's failed intervention. Jasmine, witnessing the collapse of what should have been a golden age of unity, felt a despair profound. It threatened to consume her. Her actions meant to save the universe had instead accelerated its descent into chaos. The cosmos, instead of gradually unraveling, was now tearing apart at the seams, with rifts in the fabric of reality itself beginning to show. The Watcher, observing the catastrophic failure, realized the harrowing truth. The cycle of destruction was not just inevitable, it was accelerated by Jasmine's interventions. Each attempt to change the course of history only introduced new variables, new chaos, proving that the balance they sought was a mirage in the complex dynamic system of the cosmos. With a heavy heart, the Watcher acknowledged the futile of their efforts. Jasmine's existence and powers, though born of the desire to protect and preserve, had become the fulcrum around which the cycle of destruction pervaded. The universe, in its vast white emptiness, unraveled faster than ever before, leaving the Watcher alone with the echoes of a billion hopes and dreams now extinguished. The transition to acceptance was a bitter pill. The Watcher, who had stood vigil over the cosmos for eons, who had believed in the possibilities of altering fate, now faced the unlimited surrender. There would be no more attempts, no more interventions. The grim acceptance of the cycle inevitably marked by the end of their quest for balance, leaving the Watcher to mourn the loss of what could have been. In the vast silent emptiness that followed the cosmos' final, devastating unraveling. Realizing the futility of changing one event, the Watcher understood the grim truth. The cycle of destruction was inevitable, bound to Jasmine's existence and her powers. With a heavy heart, the Watcher watched as the universe unraveled, leaving him alone in the vast white emptiness. The Watcher, now the sole guardian of what was once, pondered the nature of fate and free will. Was there truly no way to break the cycle? Could a universe exist where balance was maintained, where Discordia's influence was nullified without resorting to darkness? These questions lingered unanswered, echoing in the emptiness. And so the Watcher remained, a silent sentinel over the remnants of existence, guarding the memories of a universe that was once teemed with life, love, and the eternal dance between light and shadow. In the endless white void, the Watcher contemplated the cycle of creation and destruction, the immutable laws of the cosmos, and the role of guardianship in the face of inevitable entropy. The story of Luminara and Umba and the Princess Jasmine became a legend, a cautionary tale of ambition, sacrifice, and the perilous balance between good and evil. It served as a reminder that in the pursuit of harmony, one must tread carefully, lest they become the very darkness they seek to vanquish. And in the silence of the void, the Watcher waits, a long finger against the infinite, a guardian of stories lost and lessons learned for all time. In the silence that followed the unraveling of the universe, the Watcher vigil continued, a testament to the resilience of hope amidst two remnants of existence. The void, though vast and empty, became a canvas of the Watcher's contemplation, a space where the possibilities of creation and the lessons of destruction intertwined. As eons passed, in the blink of an eye, the Watcher began to understand that the cycle of creation and destruction was not a curse, but a rhythm of cosmos, a heartbeat of existence itself. The challenge was not to prevent the cycle, but to learn from it to weave the threads of past mistakes and triumphs into new tapestries of reality. With this realization, the Watcher decided to embark on an unprecedented act of creation. Drawing upon the remnants of the old universe and the essence of the lessons learned, the Watcher began to sculpt a new cosmos. This new universe would not be free from the cycle of light and shadow, for such a universe would lack the depth of beauty that comes from their interplay. Instead, it would be the realm where the balance between light and shadow was woven into the very fabric of existence, a balance more resilient and aware of its own precarious nature. In this new cosmos, the Watcher seeded the echoes of Aurora's embrace, not as a mere valley, but as a principle that guided the evolution of worlds. The story of Luminara, Umba, and Princess Jasmine was indescribable in the stars, a legend that would inspire civilizations to embrace the dance of light and shadow, not as adversaries, but as partners in the creation of harmony. As life blossomed across this new universe, the Watcher observed the emergence of beings who instinctively or through discovery understood the importance of balance. These beings, whether they walked on verdant worlds or soared through starlight skies, carried within them the legacy of Aurora's embrace, the wisdom of unity and diversity. Among these were new worlds. One planet in particular mirrored the beauty and magic of the valley that once was. Here, creatures reminiscent of unicorns warmed with their essence, intertwined with the land, protectors of the balance that nurtured their essence. And in the night sky above, auroras dance, a visible reminder of the eternal dance between light and the shadow. The Watcher, now not just a silent observer, but an active guardian of this new cosmos, continuing to watch over the unfolding tapestry of existence. The challenges of maintaining balance were ever present, but so too were the opportunities for growth and understanding. And in this renewed cycle of creation, the Watcher found a new purpose. No longer alone in the void, the Watcher became a guide, a mentor to those who sought to understand the profound truths of balance. There were whispers in the wind, ripples in the water, and visions of the stars. The Watcher shared the lessons of the past and the hope of the future. As the new universe thrived, the story of Luminara, Umba, and Princess Jasmine, reborn in the hearts and the minds of countless beings, became a beacon of light in the darkness, a symbol of the beauty that arises from the union contrast. And though the cycle of light and shadow continued, as it always would, the Watcher knew that this time the dance would be different, enriched by the wisdom of ages past with the promise of ages yet to come. And so the Watcher waits, not just as a guardian of stories lost, but as a barrier of the stories yet to be told. In a universe where every ending is a new beginning, and the dance of light and shadow is the eternal sympathy of existence. In an ever-evolving symphony of new cosmos, the balance between light and shadow played out across myriad worlds, each narrative thread weaving into the larger tapestry of existence. The watcher, having ignited the spark of creation, observed that these threads formed patterns of complexity and beauty unforeseen. Among the stars, civilizations rose, guided by the principles seeded by the watcher. They looked to the skies, to the dance of the auroras, and saw not just natural phenomenal, but the visual sympathy of harmony in the cosmos. Temples were built in honor of the balance, and festivals celebrated the unity of light and shadow. The legend of the Luminara, Umba, and Princess Jasmine became a universal myth, a story that transcended cultures and worlds, embodying the eternal quest of harmony. As these civilizations grew, so did their understanding of the cosmos. They discovered the ancient ruins of balance etched in the fabric of space by the watcher, learning to harness the energies of light and shadow not as opposing forces, as complementary powers. Magic and technology merged in ways that honored the balance, leading the advancements that nurtured life and the cosmos itself. But with growth came challenges. New shadows emerged, not from malice, but from the natural ebb and flow of existence. These were not threats to be vanquished, but lessons to be learned, opportunities for civilizations to deepen their commitment to the balance. The Watcher ever present offered guidance through subtle signs and omens, helping those who listen to navigate the complexity of their existence. In one such world, a planet of oceans and archipelagos, a crisis of balance emerged that mirrored the ancient struggle of Aurora's embrace. A species of luminous beings born of the ocean's depths found themselves at odds with the creatures of the land. Each believed their way of life was paramount, their light more pure, their discord threatened to unravel the harmony of their world, casting it into shadow. It was then that a being emerged from the ocean, a creature that bore the essence of both land and sea, light and shadow. This being, called Lex, spoke of a legend of Luminara and Umba, of the unity that had saved the world from darkness. Luminara's words, imbued with the wisdom of the Watcher, reminded them of the beauty of their differences, of the strength found in their unity. Inspired by Luminara's message, the beings of the land and sea came together, weaving their lights into tapestry of harmony that spanned their world. The crisis abated and their planet flourished like never before, a living testament to the balance that the Watcher had sought to nourish. As the cosmos continued to unfold, the Watcher saw that the balance was not a static state to be maintained, but a dynamic equilibrium, consistently evolving and growing through the challenges it faced. The Watcher understood that its role was not to prevent change or to enforce status, but to foster growth, understanding, and the perpetual dance of creation. And so as the Watcher gazed upon the cosmos it has nourished, it realized that its greatest creation was not the stars, nor the worlds, nor even the beings that inhabited them, but the story that connected them all, the story of light and shadow, of unity and diversity, of changes meant and overcome. A story that will continue to evolve as long as the cosmos existed. In this revelation, the Watcher found peace. It knew that the cycle of creation and destruction, of light and the shadow, was the very essence of life, the heartbeat of the cosmos, and in every heart that beat, and every star that shone, the story of Aurora's embrace would live on, an eternal melody sung in the infinite choir of the universe. The Watcher, now a silent guardian of the mentor, continued to its vigil, ever watchful, ever hopeful, for in its endless dance of the cosmos, everly ending with indeed a new beginning, and the journey of light and shadow was an ending saga of discovery, unity, in the transcendent beauty of existence. As the saga of light and shadow unfolded, the cosmos thrived under the Watcher's subtle guidance. Worlds blossomed with life, each contributing its own verse to the sympathy of existence. The principles of balance, seeded from the legend of Aurora's embrace, flourished across galaxies, fostering peace and understanding among myriad beings. In this era of enlightenment, a federation of worlds emerged, founded on the ideas of unity and harmony. This coalition, known as the Celestial Concord, sought to spread the message of balance throughout the cosmos, using the legend as a beacon of guide. Their envious ambassadors of light and shadow worked in tandem, ensuring the delicate equilibrium was respected and preserved. Yet in the vast expanse of the cosmos, the echoes of Discordia's essence lingered, a reminder of the eternal interplay between order and chaos. In some corners of the universe, civilizations struggled with their own shadows, eternal conflicts, and threatened to tip the balance. It was in these moments that the Celestial Concord intervened not as conquerors, but as mediators, sharing the wisdom of Luminara, Umba, and Princess Jasmine to heal divisions of mend rifts. The Watcher observed these developments with a sense of pride and a twinge of sorrow, for in its heart it knew the true balance required not only the harmony between light and shadow, but also the acceptance of imperfection. The cosmos in its infinite diversity was beautiful, not despite its flaws, but because of them. On a small, vibrant world at the edge of the spiraling galaxy, a new chapter in the saga began. Here, among lush forests and deep seas, a child was born under the alignment of stars that mirrored the auroras of Aurora's embrace. This child, named Aurelia, possessed an innate connection to the cosmic balance, a gift that transcended the magic of the unicorns. Aurelia grew under the watchful eyes of the Celestial Concord, her powers magnifying in ways that hinted at a deeper understanding of the universe. She could hear the songs of the stars, understand the whispers of the wind, and see the dance of light and shadow in every creature's heart. As Aurelia reached maturity, the Watcher approached her in a vision, revealing the ancient legend and the role she was destined to play. Aurelia listened with awe, her soul alight with purpose. She knew that her journey would not be one of solitude, but of unity, gathering a diverse group of companions from across the stars. Aurelia set forth to explore the mysteries of the cosmos, to heal wounds old and new, and to discover the true meaning of balance. Their journey was fraught with challenges, from ancient evils awakening to the stirrings of new discord. Yet with each trial, Aurelia and her companions grew stronger, their bonds deepening. Their encountered worlds where darkness had taken root, and through compassion's understanding and the strength of their united light, they rekindled hope and restored balance. As Aurelia legend grew, so did the understanding that the balance was not merely the absence of conflict, but the active engagement with both the light and the shadow within and without. Her message, like the Luminarian before her, became a beacon for those lost in darkness, a guide back to the path of harmony. The Watcher, from the vantage point beyond time and space, saw in Aurelia culmination of the cosmos' endless journey. In her, the cycle of light and shadow found a new expression, one that embraced the complexity of existence with love and courage. And as the cosmos continued to expand, so did the stories of those who journeyed through it, each adding their light to the tapestry of stars. The Watcher knew that the story of balance would never end, for it was the story of life itself, ever changing, ever evolving, but always grounded in the eternal dance of light and shadow. In the unending saga, the Watcher found its purpose reaffirmed, a silent custodian of the cosmic balance, watching over Aurelia and all who followed in her footsteps, ensuring that the lessons of the past illuminated the paths of the future. And so the cosmos spun on, a never-ending tale of unity, conflict, and concord, for all who would listen, for all who would watch, and for all who would journey through the uncharted symphony of the cosmos, seeking the harmony within the eternal dance of light and shadow.